Hello, welcome to the video for the auction of my version 3 STI. I've had this car for a few years now, bought it as a standard STI import and spent the last 2 or 3 years trying to improve it and make it into a much more reliable, faster and more fun car to drive on the road and track. We managed to iron out, I would say all, but definitely most of the normal problems you have with Imprezas. I'll go through them in a minute. But we've basically upgraded all the weak points and tried to make it into a better all-round car without making it too rough or undrivable for the road. So I'll just walk around the car now and show you a few things about it. Right, first of all we'll have a look at the bodywork. It's a 14-year-old car, so it's not a show car by any means, but it is a very tidy car for its age. Point out a few bad points to start with. It's had a splitter put on it at some point. I think it might be the same style as a P1 or something, and they haven't done the best job. As you can see, it's chipped really badly. I don't know if it was primed properly or whatever, but this has never been a problem for me. The rest of the bumper's pretty good. Everything else is pretty good. It's aluminium panels. A lot of the panels are on the STIs. This side is spot on, I think. Yeah, and just the normal STI rear spoiler. I don't like anything too big. As we go round the back, everything's very good there. There's a couple of points worth mentioning on this side. This driver's door has got a bit of a dent on it just here, with a line up there where it's slightly folded, and a very small mark on the door behind it, but this is not really that noticeable unless you're looking for a show car, of course. And the driver's wing as well, a bit of a dent in the aluminium just there, quite a small dent, but again I don't know if that could be perhaps knocked out by one of these people who do paint-free dent removal. Probably could, I'm sure. I'll just go through, just show the interior first. Again, very clean. All dash and everything there. A little bit of wear on the steering wheel just there. Very little wear on the driver's seat really. Passenger seat, there's a very small mark just in the base of the seat here, and a little bit of a ruffle just here, but it's all still really firm and good. It's got a double DIN Kenwood head unit, which was, I believe, an option when they were new, which will play CDs, radio and mini disc, but I don't think people really use them anymore. Everything else is original inside, apart from the addition of this Formula KS3 knock meter, so you can see if there's any problems if you've put the wrong fuel in or anything. If you're getting knock on the engine, that will alert you straight away. Also, it will actually show on the engine check light, which is on the dash here somewhere, if you're having knock, because that's programmed into the ECU as well. Right, if I just go through a few modifications to the car, I'll start with the engine. Let's open it up. So basically, the car is now running about 350 horsepower instead of the standard. I think they claim about 270 something, I think, a standard, but when you bring them into the UK, fuel over here isn't as good as Japan, so they won't make the same power, and a lot of them will tend to blow up because of not being run on the proper fuel without being remapped. So with this engine, it's not long after getting it, I stripped it all down, checked everything, make sure everything was spot on, everything was really good inside the engine. I put upgraded metal Cometic head gaskets in it so that we could run more boost safely, and also upgraded the head studs to ARP studs rather than the standard stretch bolts, which will take obviously a lot more boost before they will lift the heads. That's also, when the engine was part used, all genuine Subaru gaskets, new cam belts, all new belts, all the headers, the heads, all the valves have been shimmed. We lapped them all in, shimmed them all with the proper Subaru solid under bucket shims that these engines use. All genuine rubbers, even the little washers, don't know if you can see here, little gold washers there, absolutely everything, all new genuine Subaru gaskets, which cost a fortune. But I liked my cars to be right. Now then, internally the engine, apart from that, is standard, but these will, some people run them anything up to about 400 horsepower on standard internals. It does have an XZE clutch in it. We've got a VF35 turbo, which is stronger than the standard VF23, and obviously will give a lot more power. We're running somewhere near up to the limit on it now, about 350 odd horsepower, and I've ported it out, ported all the exhaust headers out, everything, ported a wastegate hole out in the turbo itself to stop boost creep, which is a common problem with these, and there's no boost creep at all on here. But I've also managed, if you look at the two rolling road graphs, I actually managed to get more power at less boost, even with a bigger turbo, so we're quite pleased with that. And also, to reduce the lag, we've gone with a top mount intercooler, but this is actually a much bigger intercooler than standard, off a version 8 STI, which we've had to modify by welding in this piece out of the original intercooler here, so that you can use the original dump valve. It's just a recirculating one. I don't like the noisy boiler race ones, so that's just all original. We've got an aeromotive fuel pressure regulator there. This is rise and rate pressure regulator, so we can run a higher baseline fuel pressure to using 440 injectors to get the power, enough fuel for the power we wanted. And also have modified it to run parallel fuel lines. You can't really see a lot from here. There's the takeoff thing down there where the standard regulator would be. I don't know if you can see that. A common problem with these engines is going lean on one of the cylinders, because the normal fuel pipes come round in a loop, and the last one gets a little bit leaner. So what we've done is modified it so they come in the back, split out both ways, and go out the front, or the other way around, in the front and out the back either way. So it's more an even spread of fuel, and that's been absolutely spot on as well. So turbo, oh yeah, breather system. Another problem with using an Impreza on the track is, with it being a flat 4 engine, so you've got 2 pistons going that way, 2 that way, rather than a conventional one where they're all coming up. As you go round bends hard, you'll tend to get oil surging to the heads. So there's one head down here, one on the other side, and it'll blow through the breather system, which the standard system recirculates into the inlet. And if you're not careful, you can get a lot of oil pumping into the inlet and wrecking the engine. So what we've done is blanked off the return to the inlet. The heads are now venting to this catch tank and then out to atmosphere from there. At the moment, the crank is just going into this little bottle, which that's just because I wanted to keep it separate to, so I knew what was, if there was any oil coming out the head or the crank, that I will now tee that into this pipe so it all goes into the catch tank. What is there? Turbo was rebuilt about 500 miles ago, so that's perfect. What else have we done here? Just had an oil change using Silcolene Pro R oil, genuine filter, all of that. It's got an uprated panel filter. Just that's all that's required really for this sort of power, and it obviously keeps cooler than if you just put a induction kit in and don't shield it properly, so happy with that. That's about all there is to say about the engine itself, I think. Now, standard brakes on an STI are terrible, so I've upgraded to AP Racing 4 pots, 330mm diameter, much better than standard. Obviously with going for these size brakes, I've had to go for bigger wheels. These are 17-inch 5 Ziggin wheels. Just painted them recently, satin black and lacquered. You know, pretty tidy. Few little marks on them, nothing serious. The brakes, rear brakes, been changed very recently as well. New disc drums, new shoes, and new pads. so they'll be fine for a long time. Tyres, I've got Toyo R888 track day tyres, which are road legal also. A little bit noisy on the road compared with a normal road tyre, so I've done that because I tend to track it. I've got various tyres here if you want different tyres instead, but obviously these ones are worth a lot more than the normal road tyres. Suspension wise, it's on all STI suspension. Also we've got an adjustable pairing anti-roll bar, you can see under there on the front, and on the rear we've got an E-back. The front is 22mm, rear is 24mm E-back with white line alloy drop links there. Hayward exhaust, Hayward and Scott exhaust, full stainless system with an open neck downpipe, very expensive as well. What else? Can't think now, I'm doing this video. So we've got suspension. Yeah, also suspension has all been set up by Power Station in Cheltenham, who have done the bump steer modification, stop the bump steer, which is quite common in Imprezas, and set it up for a fast road or track setting. It's very good. Use it on the road and track, and the tyres wear very evenly. Don't scrub out the outside of the tyres at all, as you can see. So I've been really pleased with that. Handles a lot better since they've done that to it. And yeah, that's about it suspension wise. Brakes, yes. Now then, we're running a Pexi Power FC ECU. This is mapped by Simon Rowe of Jolly Green Monster. I think he's considered to be one of the best Subaru tuners. It's just in the standard position under the carpet here. It's just under below that cover there, you can't see it. And that is, he mapped that on Surrey Rolling Road, and then he takes it out on the road afterwards just to tweak it. So yes, we've done various things to this car over the last few years, ended up with it as it is now. Very happy with it, but unfortunately I don't use it much anymore. So I'm kind of in a position where I'm sort of forced to sell it because all the insurance and everything's due on it now. So I've either got to spend £1,000 or so just to keep it and use it the odd weekend, or I've been forced to sell it, which is what looks like I'm going to do. But I'm obviously not desperate to sell because I've invested a lot of money in the car, and more importantly a lot of time. So I'll won't be taking any really low offers, but we'll see how we get on. If not, I'll insure it and keep the car, no worries at all. But it's just at the stage where I think I should really be getting rid of it. Yeah, I think that's about it really. Any questions, give me a ring or text or message me. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks very much. I'll do another video driving the car.